In the year 2020, I started a podcast about movies. Some episodes occasionally focused on other media as well. As I dealt with threatening interdimensional beings, I eventually met my other self from another universe where all the stuff I talked about got delayed. As it turns out, the stories as me and my guests described them were presented very differently in that other universe. So I continued podcasting these recaps, which apparently sound like improvised reviews, to entertain listeners of that other universe while they waited for the new release dates. Some episodes even focused on content of years past that did not come out in that other universe for whatever reason. The year is 2022. The podcast is now bi-weekly, unless stated otherwise. My name is Steven Shinder, and you're listening to Delayed Replay. Hello, listeners. Welcome to another episode of Delayed Replay, that podcast where we recap and review movies that got delayed in that other universe but came out on time in our universe. I'm your host, as always, and joining me to talk about the 11th Fast and Furious movie, which is titled F up to 11. It is Greg. How's your... I guess it's evening for you now, so how's your evening?
It's 5:30. I wouldn't count it as evening. It's like late afternoon, I would suppose.
Wow.
I haven't done it.
Yeah, because I count 5 as evening, but yeah, I don't know.
6. I don't know. I don't know if there's a straightforward answer to that.
Yeah, cultural differences and whatnot, or something like that. Let us know, listeners. Email us at delayedreplaypodcast@gmail.com. When does evening start? 5 p.m. or 6 p.m.? All right, that's the
ever start.
All right, that's a show. Bye. Fastest show ever. No, I'm kidding. It's morning for me. I've not had breakfast yet, which is quite ironic because it has fast in the word.
Yeah, you got to break fast and furious.
Yeah. Yeah, break too fast, too furious.
That's what you do when you go to the toilet afterwards.
Gosh, yeah, hopefully not too furious for people when that happens.
Just like breaks the toilet.
Yeah, eat a healthy breakfast, everyone.
Yeah,
don't eat
get the
too much.
fiber.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is the 11th Fast and Furious movie.
12th. If you count the other one.
Oh yeah, because Hobbs and Shaw, yeah.
Yeah. Did you count that one as... I don't know.
Potentially the final chapter of the saga? Like, I don't know, I guess we'll see, but...
Yeah, 20 years time, we'll get another one.
Yeah.
To get really old Vin Diesel.
Yeah, you never know with these things. Like, as we've talked about before on this show, we've covered the 9th and 10th movies. The last one was Fast X, where they went into space and a lot of crazy stuff happened. And then we also did a Jurassic World Dominion episode where the Fast crew showed up, and that ended with them going back in time to the Jurassic period. And they're also in Transformers Rise of the Beast because of time travel, like we mentioned before. They might have changed the timeline of that series, I guess. And yeah, so this movie basically picks up with all their time travel shenanigans. It makes it really confusing trying to figure out what happened in what order. But yeah, I think this is just a messy movie altogether. It's they basically threw out plot and are just going with it, I feel.
Yeah, I don't think timeline matters, really. You just watch it and just hope for the best.
So this is the fastest and I guess shortest movie in the Fast and Furious series at 88 minutes, which I guess they did because of the 88 miles per hour thing in the DeLorean. But
I did like the DeLorean.
Yeah, they made great use of the DeLorean, as well as the Jurassic Park Jeep. They're just driving those and flying them around
the dinosaur car.
Yeah, they also had like the cars that looked like the Flintstones cars where they had to just run. When I watched this, I went ahead and did because at the cinema, or I guess at the theater, as we Americans will say, there are a couple different ways to watch this movie. Like the other way, there's a normal way, and there's also fast mode where you can watch the movie at double the speed. So I went ahead and did that. So it was like 44 minutes for me. And so for me, it was like, oh, heck yeah, I can get this Fast and Furious movie done like much more quickly. And it was just like really refreshing for me.
Did you not realize that you were watching a normal speed version and the 88-minute version is in like slow motion?
Oh, really?
Yeah, did you not realize that?
Oh, I guess they market it differently, like depending on the country or something. Huh.
Yeah, when I went to see the 88-minute version, I was like, why is everything in slow motion? So,
Okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense because, like, in the version I watched, their voices weren't as squeaky as one might think, but like the stuff that happened was pretty fast, even still, like just the action bits. There wasn't like as much talking, come to think of it.
yeah, I did notice that. Like, they did talk, but it was like muffled behind just machinery and animals crashing into each other and animals fighting and planes crashing and Will Smith coming down from the sky in a blaze of glory. It was, yeah.
Yeah,
A lot.
he arrived and was like after Earth, more like before Earth, am I right?
And he comes down to like an army of dinosaurs.
Yeah, there are like so many dinosaurs in this, and surprisingly, some of them looked really good. Like it was hard for me to tell what was CGI and what was animatronic. But like, what were your favorite dinosaurs to see in this movie?
I did like the dinosaurs they took from Land Before Time 12. I thought that was a very
Yeah,
good nod.
Land Before Time 12, the great day of the flyers.
Yeah, they had pterodactyls. The pterodactyls were good. I think they were the best animated ones.
Yeah, they went to like a couple different dinosaur periods, and in one of them we see like the Land Before Time. Like they look like the characters and are colored like them, like in the exaggerated, colorful way that they do them in the anime movies, but it's like live action, so it's kind of weird. And basically, like I guess their mission, like the Fast Cruise mission, is to like they're trying to analyze all these dinosaurs so that people in the present know how to deal with them because of everything that happened in the Jurassic World trilogy. And so they're like gathering all this information, but it of course involves a lot of driving because they're constantly being chased by T-Rexes and like raptors and all sorts of things.
Yeah, didn't have many guns. It was just like the cars driving into the dinosaurs. Like they had like doomsday vehicles with like spikes. You just saw loads of dinosaurs getting impaled. And I was like, oh, this is violent.
Yeah, and they try to make a point of they do that against the predators that are after them. Predators as in dinosaurs, not the predator from Alien versus Predator.
They were in this, but they were later on.
Right, yeah. Um but it like even so it's still surprisingly like really violent seeing like it was like you guys kind of went overboard with this, didn't you? Like they're really pushing the PG-13 rating in places. It's like how much do they have to cut down to get that rating?
Yeah, it was a lot. And they like had to like get all the blood for the blood samples to make their own dinosaurs, like to tame them and everything, so they could understand better.
Yeah, they like create their own dino army, which was weird. There's also like this little tie-in to the animated series, Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. In the later seasons, there's these like little robot dinosaurs called Brad X. They're named after a character called Brad, and so when they show up, those robots are like, "You thought Fast X was a threat? Get ready for Brad X." So a little callback to the 10th movie and the SpaceX stuff, I guess.
What about Brad X's little brother, Chad X?
Yeah, Chad X. Yeah, they're just like a foot taller than the Brad X ones. It's really weird because Vin Diesel, having played the Iron Giant, is like fighting these robots himself, and it's just he basically says something like, "I'm gonna go Superman on your ass," and it's just really ridiculous.
It makes sense to see him fighting the dinosaurs because he was in this game. It's Arc 2, where he's like riding dinosaurs. So he's used that knowledge in this movie to ride these real dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, that's right. Arc 2.
Not Arcto, Arc 2.
Right, yeah, not the Star Wars planet. Yeah, so I guess this was also like a little promotional thing for that. This is like surprising and also like kind of annoying, but for this movie, not only do they see dinosaurs, but they also like make a car that explores the multiverse. And so I was sitting there thinking, damn it, but multiverse again. One of the universes that they go to is one where it's like the Breakfast Club, but it's their characters as the high schoolers. So, so you get like Vin Diesel dressed as John Bender, the troublemaker guy, right down to having like the long hair and whatever. And
what with natural hair? No, that's not my Vin Diesel.
Right, yeah, that's fake Vin Diesel. And you have Roman and Tej as like the athlete and the nerd character.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, Michelle Rodriguez is
she was the pristine one, and she like hated being that character. She was like, "Why am I in this body? What's going on?" It's like the bit in Jumanji, when Jack Black went into the wrong body.
Yeah, it was Jack Black. Like the girl was playing as Jack Black's character, and it was like really awkward.
Yeah.
And I think it was Mia who was the other one, the goth one. So it's like a weird type of multiverse thing where instead of meeting their other selves, they're like body hopping or body switching or something. So a bit of a, like you said, Jumanji or I guess Freaky Friday sort of thing. So it is kind of different from most multiverse things we've seen. I guess it's a little bit like Everything Everywhere All at Once. There's like a bit of body swapping in that kind of, right?
Yeah. It was nice to see Brian O'Connor as the head teacher.
Yeah.
Like he came
as like the vice principal or
Yeah.
principal or whatever.
Yeah. So like he never actually turned to driving, he became a principal.
Yeah, and it was a really nice tribute. They got his brothers to like help with that as well. But it was like a neat little cameo, I guess. Like even though it was like the Breakfast Club, he did the speech from Ferris Bueller where he's like, "Life moves fast, so you just might miss it," and whatever that whole thing is. So I guess I have to throw that in because that's the word "fast" in it.
Yeah, and family.
Yeah, and then someone was like, "Life moves breakfast," and everyone just groaned.
Breakfast and too furious.
Yeah, and then they jump back to their normal bodies and they're back in the car and about to like almost fall off a cliff and they're like, "We got break fast," and yeah, they just like do that and like almost fall off.
They hit like a brick wall and they go, "Whoa, this wall is not breaking fast. It's furious at me." Why
Yeah,
won't you break? And then the wall starts breakdancing.
Yeah, just like these blocky shaped beings, kind of like Transformers, but all brick.
And then like Bob the Builder came out to like fix the wall.
Yeah, and it was a live action Bob the Builder though.
Yeah, not a weird animated one.
It was a real revelation recently finding out that Bob the Builder, like I guess there are like some differences between the US and UK version in the like stop motion show. There might be like a British dub and an American dub or something kind of like Lazy
I
Town.
think it had a different dub. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like the Lazy Town did that as well.
Oh no.
But speaking of Jack Black, this is a tangent, but last night I had a dream that I was watching School of Rock, but the events were kind of different. So it was like Jack Black's character was even closer to getting caught, and the kids were also like even more bored that he was teaching them about rock history and not about like actual school stuff. But like the rock history timeline that he was teaching goes back like thousands of years. I remember like the year 800 was on there somewhere, and it's like when did rock music exist? Like a couple thousand years ago.
I was talking to some people about Jack Black today, and I was like, "Oh, Jack Black's a really good singer," and they're like, "No, he's not." And then they're like, "He's like a meme singer. He can't sing." I'm like, "Shut the up." That dude can sing so good. It's a weird hill to die on.
Yeah, no, he is a good singer. I love how in Nacho Libre he sings that one song where he's like, I ate some bugs, I ate some grass, I used my hand to wipe my tears.
I need to see that movie still.
Yeah.
I'm missing out.
But while we're on that, like, what'd you think of the music in this movie?
I did like the grunge that they had in this movie, because not normally what they normally play like R&B and like rap and stuff. Like from like Tokyo Drift had some of the best music. I swear.
Yeah, that's a hill to die on.
You don't like that music in Tokyo Drift?
I actually don't remember it very well, so like I don't know.
It was that one song that everyone quotes from Tokyo Drift. It's like the Tokyo Drift theme song.
Oh yeah, I'll have to listen to it again later, I guess.
Yeah, you should, and tell me how good it is.
Yeah, I'm like I can't tell if you're joking or not, but like there are those movies where even if the movie itself is not very good, the music sort of transcends it.
Yeah, unless it's like a musical, then it's never good. like High School Musical, that stuff is ass. I'm dying on that hill, and I'm okay with it. High School Musical is not good.
Yeah, I mean your mileage will vary, I guess. There are a few songs I like, but personally I prefer, like in terms of Disney Channel original movies, I prefer Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off.
Of course.
Which, yeah, you've heard me talk about this. Like, premise is basically like it came before High School Musical, and then High School Musical sort of used a similar premise because the movie is about this kid who plays baseball, and his dad is the coach, and his dad actually, like the actor who played his dad actually ended up in High School Musical too, but Eddie wants to cook and is like made fun of for it, which wouldn't happen today, but like this was early 2000s, and like it's kind of like the theater versus basketball thing. But I would like, this is a hill I'll die on. Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off is better than all the High School Musical movies.
Or even the spin-off. Sharpay's
Fabulous Adventure.
Yeah.
Probably. Like back in the day, I even liked that more than the other movies because my reasoning was that, oh, it's more realistic. It's not everyone just breaking out into song. It's the actual like theater world. But if I watched it now, I'm not sure what I would think. But Yeah,
Ooh.
Eddie's Million Dollar Cook-Off better than all of them. I'll say.
Hot take.
The music was I didn't mind the change in the genre. Like I thought it was fine for what it was. Sometimes it was louder than the action itself, so it was kind of hard to hear what was being said at points. It was like I kind of need subtitles for this moment because I don't know what the hell everyone is saying.
I did like the dinosaur music. It had like dinosaurs singing. Like, you know, some movies have those things where they have bands playing, but in this movie they had dinosaurs playing, like actual dinosaurs at the place of really good music. I don't know if it was original music the dinosaurs wrote for this movie or what, but it was some really good music.
There were also like those little hints of the Jurassic theme. You know, they want to remind people that this is kind of a crossover and a very flimsy one at that, I would say. I don't
It's
think,
it's a very universal crossover.
yeah. Yeah, and I mean, The Breakfast Club was distributed by Universal, so there you go. And like, there were these moments where the scenes switched to video game animation, like again to promote Arc 2, and so you see like Vin Diesel like with a spear and riding T-Rex and some other things, and it was just kind of weird that they did that like smack dab in the middle of the movie.
Yeah, I did feel a bit like Transformers and the Last Night with Optimus Prime riding the dinosaur.
Oh yeah, the Dinobot.
Yeah.
Yeah, they fight some Dinobots in this as well.
Yeah, sadly didn't look as good. They definitely did. I don't know if it's like on purpose, like what they did in Godzilla with the 1999 Godzilla, where they intentionally made him look bad because he was in another universe. But like in Fast 11, they like changed the Dinobots, look like really, really bad CGI. What's going on?
Yeah, it's like they use all this budget for like the live action regular dinosaurs and the video game looking dinosaurs, but after that they're just like cutting corners in places.
Literally, they look really blocky.
Yeah, like to the point where the characters are even like lampshading it by being like, "Oh my gosh, they look so ugly. Let's kill them," and just blasting them to smithereens as fast as they can. And they also like get some DNA of what you know as they're time traveling. They get DNA from a sloth, and they basically recreate Sid from the Ice Age movies. And it's like live action, but he has all the same proportions that he has in those movies.
And then he goes like, "Where's Manny? Where's my friends?" And then he gets really depressed.
Yeah.
Where's my family?
Vin Diesel does like a whole speech about family again, of course, as you do.
Yep.
Yeah, and they time travel to the Ice Age and are like racing on these icy formations that are kind of like spiral slide looking things. Sid is pretty much like the mascot for like the rest of this movie because you gotta have like a cute looking animal, I guess. Although I guess you could debate whether this looks cute or whether he looks unsettling.
It's definitely weird, I will say that much.
Yeah, and like they're driving on the ice and it's like cracking beneath them, so they have to like keep driving faster so that they don't fall in the lava. And
Fast and Furious.
yeah, obviously. Again, it's like one of these things of like, what's even happening in this movie? Do they even care anymore? Or is this supposed to be satire? I can't really tell.
It's kind of like Space Jam and Rescue Rangers, which was great. Great, watch that movie. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
Yeah. I
Just
remember
packing everything into one movie.
Yeah, I remember there was an article that said, I think you might have shared this maybe, but like there's an article from IGN that said the Jurassic movies are getting stupid. They should just embrace it.
Yeah, I sent that.
I feel like that's happening with like both of these franchises.
I think they have the identity where they are kind of grounded in reality, but they push it just far enough where it's like just hilarious. Like it's not all like science fiction or anything, but it's still grounded somewhat. Even though obviously we do have dinosaurs and Transformers and Sid from the Ice Age in live action.
Yeah, it is kind of hard to think of it as grounded when you have like all those elements in there. There's also a scene where they take a break. I guess it's break fast, haha. But they eat some chocolate sausages, and it's just like a 5-minute scene of them eating chocolate sausages. 2.5 minutes, depending on the version.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. When I watched it, I was eating like really slowly.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, shove it down your face. But then I was wondering, like, which part of it is a chocolate sausage? Is it like a chocolate flavored sausage, but it still has pork in it? Is it just chocolate in like a shape of a sausage? Like I don't know.
Well, I'm like looking at the Wikipedia entry on it. Apparently, chocolate salami is made from cocoa, broken biscuits, butter, eggs, and sometimes alcohol, such as port wine or rum. If it was something that was literally chocolate with salami, like mixed together with salami, it sounds like something I might enjoy. I kind of wonder if maybe I have had something like this in England 5 years ago, but I don't know.
I never had it, honestly. I've seen it in places, but never gone up to it and gone, yes, please.
Yeah, after this scene, they basically drive around and do more stuff. It's like this sort of lengthy sequence where they're just driving around and there's no talking. Like it felt very much like one of those, like, you know, when you have the video game screen on too long, it'll do like a screensaver mode type of thing where it's just like action from the game, and it was just like them driving around for a while. It felt like that.
Yeah, when it did on for far too long. Like it was basically just listening to music. It was just like being in an elevator is what it felt like. When you're watching a movie, why do you want to feel like you're in an elevator in a movie? I don't get it.
There was also like this discussion later on where they were talking about time travel, and it felt like the movie couldn't make up its mind about whether their time travel creates new timelines or if it's circular. Like, do their actions, could it cause a paradox? Like, it feels like this movie couldn't make up its mind on any of that, which is why like some parts were kind of confusing.
Yeah, I never got my head around what was happening. But it's like, it's not really like I didn't feel like it was important to the story though, so.
Yeah, I guess it just kind of got confusing to me when they see a mosquito go into the amber, and because, you know, like the mosquito they get in the first Jurassic Park. So in my head I was thinking, wait, are they suggesting like all this is circular? But then how are they able to change this over here? It's just like, yeah, I don't know. It's just, I guess we're not supposed to think about it, but it just kind of hurt my head.
You gotta turn your brain off, Stephen. That's how you watch movies nowadays.
Yeah, the bad ones. But yeah, like, what'd you think of the way that they sort of wrapped up this movie, and I guess possibly the series, if they want to?
It became like a massive, like, campfire. Like, they all sat around the campfire after saving the Jurassic World franchise, which I shouldn't have done, honestly. I should let that thing die. But they're just sitting around the campfire singing songs, and you have like the dinosaurs singing with them, and you have Vin Diesel talking about family, because this was like in Harrison Ford's garden. So it's really weird to see Indiana Jones appear, because like he has like a whole wardrobe of Indiana Jones stuff that he just like puts on sometimes when he leaves the house.
Like Harrison Ford just took it from the set or something.
Hey, cool. I'll be Indiana Jones from the best Indiana Jones movie, The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, today.
Yeah, that's a hill to die on.
That was a joke. I did not believe that.
Yeah, but it's like they go to these different universes where, because they were in the Transformers one where they had Indiana Jones, and now they're in this one where Harrison Ford exists. So it's like, again, because this is a multiverse movie, they go to universes where like the characters are real and ones where the characters are fictional. So it gets really confusing, and it's like I kind of wonder if like the Fast crew might have like an existential crisis from all of this and think about whether they're fictional somewhere, but they don't really delve too much into that. Like you were saying, the dinosaur singing around the campfire type of thing, like the song sounded very much like something that would be in The Land Before Time.
I think it was from Land Before Time 7. I think.
Yeah, the one with the Stone of Cold Fire or whatever it's called.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I knew it sounded familiar. It sounds like one of the songs they sing is the one that's sung by those dinosaurs that apparently came from space.
Yes, that was a weird Land Before Time movie.
Yeah, I remember at the time, like as a kid, thinking that it was the last one like ever because it was like the most recent one, and it seemed like a fitting ending that like, oh, there's even more mysterious beyond the mysterious beyond or whatever. Like there's more mysterious things in space, and the world with all the dinosaurs is just a part of it, and it's part of all this beautiful universe type of thing. And it seemed like a really fitting ending to me as a kid. But then we got like 7 more movies and a TV series, so like go figure.
Should have stopped after the first movie.
I mean, honestly, yeah, probably. The first one is the best by a long shot. All right, so what are your final thoughts and score out of 10 and unit of measurement?
It's definitely not the best of the Universal Verse movies. That's come out recently. It's always nice to see Vin Diesel saying family like a million times in a movie. That will never get old. Even though it has got old. Yeah, the dinosaur singing was good. The Dinobots looking really weird was interesting, and obviously seeing Sid in live action was one of the worst things my eyes has ever seen. But yeah, it's a decent film. I'd probably give it 5 out of 10 dinosaur campfire songs.
Wow, okay. That was actually the same score I was gonna give it. Like this was, I'm glad it was fast, like it didn't take up too much of my time, but it's also a hot mess, so like, it feels like a half-baked movie to me. So and again, it just gets messy with like all those crossover things, which I'm kind of tired of, but it feels kind of inevitable with a lot of these things now. But yeah, I'm giving this 5 out of 10 fossils.
Nice.
Yeah, such a weird movie. Like they do the mission and bring the info to the present, and I guess that's the extent of that crossover. But anyway, yeah, I hope this is the last one, but who knows what they'll do in the future.
Yeah, they just keep making Universal Verse movies.
All right. Well, thanks for joining me again, Greg. Where can people find what you're involved with?
You can find me at the University of Sussex Sci-Fi and Horror Discord server. You can watch movies with us if you want. It's open to anyone, really. The online ones, so just pop along if you want.
Right. Nice. And as for me, people can follow me at Steven Shinder on Instagram and Twitter, Steven Shinder Storytelling on Facebook. Can go to stevenshinder.com for info on my book Lemons Like Rain, which is available on Amazon. The second book, Trespassing Through the Visages, I'm in the process of getting it registered for like the copyright and whatnot. Yeah, things are moving along. And you can also find me on Yesshift podcast/vlog that I do with my dad. We talk about the band Yes, and we've even had people involved with Yes on there. Also, check out Drum Talk TV's tribute to the Tributes, where my dad and Jason Gianni will be talking with Joe Cass, the drummer from Yes tribute band Total Mass Retain. That will be out by the time this comes out. So just, yeah, I'll link all of this and people can check it out. And the next movie, I have an idea of what it is, but so without further delay, have a good day.